Once you've created a new project, the first thing you want to do is permanently display your toolbox. Hit the pin button, and now it will always stay on your screen. Next, you want to go and name your form. In my property windows, I scroll up to the parentheses, name parentheses, and I type in FRM for form, hotel room selection. Notice the capital letters. Next, I'm going to go and name my form in my Solution Explorer. I'm going to name it the same thing, so FRM for form, hotel room selection with capitals. This makes everything work better in the long run. Notice that it changed in the left-hand corner of the screen. Now I'm going to change the text on the form. This is what actually shows up to the user. So in this case, I do use spaces. So I typed in hotel room selection. Notice it changed. Next, I'm going to resize my form. Here I just pull down diagonally across the screen. Now we're going to add a label object. From my toolbox, I'm going to just pull a label and drag it across onto the screen. First things I'm going to do is actually go and name it. So I go up to my parentheses, name parentheses, and I change it to, in this case, LBL for label, heading in this case. Then I scroll down for my text property, and I'm going to type in here hotel room selection with spaces. Next, I want to change the font. So I scroll up in my properties window to the font, and I click on the little button to the right. It gives me some choices. I'm going to pick Tahoma, bold, and size 16, and then I select OK. Now I want to center my label in the middle of my form, so I'm going to go up to Format, Center in Form, click on Horizontal. But I want it kind of higher on the form, so I'm going to use my up arrow and just push it up. Next, we're going to add some picture boxes. From my toolbox, I'm going to pull out a picture box. I'm going to drag it onto the screen. I can resize it just like I did the form. I also want to give this one a name, so I go up to the parentheses, name parentheses, and I'm going to name this PIC for picture, P-I-C, standard room, because this is going to be my picture of my standard room. I don't have to change any text on this one, but I do want a second picture box, so I pull it out. Again, I can resize it. I'm going to name this one PIC Deluxe Room, because this is going to be the picture of my deluxe room. Now I want to make sure they're the same size, so I'm going to click on one, and then I'm going to hit Control and click on the other one. Go to Format, make same size, click on both. Alright? I also want to make sure that they're centered in the form as well, so I click on Center in Form, Horizontal. Next step is to add some buttons. From my toolbox, I'm going to drag a button out. I'm going to change the name to, in this case, button BTN, and it's going to be my standard room, so BTN standard room. And I can change the text on this one as well, so this one's going to say standard room. But notice that standard shows up, but not room, so I need to make my button bigger, so I just pull on it. I'm going to add a second button. I'm going to name this one BTN Deluxe Room. And I'm going to change the text to Deluxe Room. Now I want to make sure that these buttons are the same, so I'm going to pick the button whose size I like, and then I'm going to control and select the second button. I'm going to go up to Format and make same size and click both. Now my buttons are the same size. I can align my buttons by pulling one button up towards another button, and a snap line will show up, and I can use that to help align things. Again, I can use my arrow keys to move stuff around. I'm going to finish up my project now. I'm going to need another button. This one I'm going to call button Select Room. I'm going to change the text to select room, and then name it BTN select room. I'm going to pick my standard room button, and then I'm going to make it the same size. Clicking make same size both. Looks like I need some more space, so I'm going to move stuff over and slide that one in. Kind of align them. It looks like I need to adjust my pictures, so using my arrow buttons, I'm going to move those over a little bit. Now I'm going to add some more labels. Alright, so this label is called Label 1. I'm going to change it to LBL Instructions. I'm going to change the text. Now I'm going to change the text to choose a room and click and choose a room type, and then click on the select room button. If I want to add more to one label line, I can click on the little button beside it. It'll make a bigger screen. I also want to center that form, so I do Format, Center and Form horizontally. Now I'm going to add a second label. This one I'm going to call Label Confirmation Message. So LBL Confirmation Message. Then I'm going to change the text, and it's going to say you have completed your room selection. Right? If I wanted to add more, I could, but I don't. Now I want to center this one in the form. And the last step is to add an exit window button. So I'll create a new button, type in exit window under the text. I want to make sure I go back and name it BTN exit window. And then of course I want to center it in the form. And that, my friends, is your first project. Congrats!